Hey everybody.
Hey, Josh and Sierra here.
And I made a post on my Facebook account about 2 weeks ago, roughly 2 weeks ago, that we would make this update on our first placement. And so we're kind of here to give you some insight of what our first placement was like and kind of what we went through. So we'll have Sierra tell her side of the story and I'll tell mine. So if you want to take it away, Sierra.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, we got a call for respite care. So there was a 3-year-old that he's currently in a foster home. He just needed some respite. His case is weird. His foster family, great family, just needed kind of a break. So we were that help. We had him from Tuesday of 1 week to Tuesday of the following week. We had to provide transportation for his visits. We got some assistance, but most of it was kind of thrown upon us, which we are not saying anything poorly. You know, we were grateful for the opportunity to help. It was a wild ride. It was a great first placement. Even just for that short amount of time, we had a great week with him. It was hard to see him go, but we know that, you know, if our paths cross in the future, that we will be able to help him along, and he'll be able to help us grow. We had a hard time, like I said, saying goodbye. It's a lot different than once you're in the situation than just doing the trainings and reading and doing your research and, like I said, going to classes. Once you're actually in it and you have the child in your home, it's a whole other ball game. There's a lot, like I said, that we learned in that short amount of time, not just about children in general, but also about the foster system, just about like some small things that we had kind of, like I said, an idea, but there were some things that we had no idea were even remotely available, I guess. We received a lot of support in that time. The current foster family, like I said, has been a great help, kind of, you know, guiding us a little bit, and also, like I said, our friends and family, they kind of all gathered around us. Our neighbor, actually.
Sarah, if you're watching
Shout
this.
out to you, Sarah.
You are a lifesaver.
It was just, it was a lot, like I said. It was a very short notice, which most are. But we had a lot of support, and that really
a lot of
helped
support,
everything.
A lot of stress.
It was very stressful.
Can't emphasize that enough.
It was very stressful.
But we got through it.
Yeah.
And
the stress didn't stem from the child or his behaviors or anything of that sort, because honestly,
he was a great kid.
We had 0 bad behaviors, and you know that's not every case, but we were very
got super
fortunate.
Lucky for our first kid.
Yeah,
and we're super happy to have him in our home.
Yeah.
And you know, if we're able to get him back, you know, we're over the moon about the opportunity if that were to come, because he is a great kid and he did very well for even being 3 years old and being potty trained. He's super good at that for like a relatively new 3-year-old. And so for the people that didn't watch our last video saying that we're getting a placement, we are calling him T. Sierra calls him T. I like to call him T-Dog because, you know, keep it real. Yeah, so he's a great kid. The situation was a little stressful at first, but we got it figured out. Like we said, shout out to Sarah because she's what's up. And so, yeah, if it wasn't for everybody backing us and supporting us, this would have been a lot harder.
Yeah, and we we have 2 dogs, and honestly, they did great. He did great. We weren't really too concerned about our animals. We just wanted to make sure that he would get along with them, and it worked out perfectly.
Totally. The first night he was here, actually Finley and Marley laid in bed with him to make sure that he was okay.
Until he fell asleep. Yeah, they really did very well having somebody new in their house. And like I said, he did very well, even coming, for that week time. As soon as we got home, he, unpacked his toys and he just wanted to play. And he was very comfortable.
Play. That's all it was.
Yeah. He really enjoyed being here, and we really enjoyed having him here. It was a great time. And like Josh said, if we have the opportunity to help him in the future, we are ecstatic to do so. We don't know day to day what fostering will entitle, or what we're going to come across. I mean, we could never see him again. We could see him, next Tuesday. We don't know. We don't know what the situations are always going to entitle. But like, we said, we're just kind of taking it day by day, and that's been a hard thing for us. We just felt very unprepared. And
I mean, you can only prepare so much, until you're like in the situation, and when the situation arises again, then you could possibly be a little bit more prepared. But I mean, I think it goes just like being a regular parent. You're never quite prepared for your first kid. Yeah. So that's one thing that we kind of struggled with, but we kind of, like I said, we were prepared a little bit, but you can never mentally prepare enough.
And also, I mean, so we chose an age group of 0 to 5 for our children that we will be welcoming to our home, just so that way they are kind of more in our age range. So I'm 23 and Josh is 24. We wanted children in our home that it would have also been biologically possible if we would have given birth to them, and had them, we want them to look at us as their parents while they are here, so that way we can help them along their journey, and they can help us along ours. We've had a couple questions as to why we're fostering. We're not.
It's not that we're not able to have children. We're just not ready to have children of our own. Yeah. Not yet.
So we do plan on having biological children in the future. We're not at that point in our lives yet. I've always felt like I wanted to help children in different ways, whether that be fostering, adopting, just advocating for them. So we are trying to do that now, before we decide to bring biological children into the world. We want to make sure that we're bringing them into a good environment also. We want everything to be safe and calm. We're just, like I said, we're willing to help right now. We have a year before we are getting married, so that's pushed back till September of 2021. So we're just kind of taking this time, learning, trying to grow as a couple and just as people in general. We've kind of taken a lot of time, and we're leaning towards God a little bit more than what we had in the past. We're not, huge Bible thumpers by any means, but we're just kind of embracing the fact that, He will help us along this journey. He'll help us through life. We will, there's a reason for everything. We'll be okay. The children that come through our house, their time here is, how it should be, whether we have them for a day, a week, a month, a year, we have them forever. That will be part
in His hands.
Yeah. So we're just kind of, like I said, we're trying to stay as calm as possible. There was quite a bit of stress, and like I said, it wasn't T's fault by any means. It wasn't his doing. It was just becoming new parents.
Yeah. And having new situations arise, that was like the biggest issue. But and like Sierra said, that's not the kid's fault.
No.
And
visitations are no joke.
Yeah.
The transportation for visits, that's no joke. That is very stressful. It's hard.
If anybody's looking into doing foster care and you're watching this video, please make sure that you have all the information before you accept the kid into your home.
Yeah. So
that is a big deal, because we were under the impression that all of the transportation was going to be provided.
Yeah, to and from.
To and from
and
where he was going to be at certain times.
Yeah.
And that was not exactly the case, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We made it work.
Yeah, and we're not, like I said, we're not upset by any means. It was just, we accepted the opportunity to help, and then we kind of, as we went, we learned, which, like I said, we grew because of it, so we're not by any means upset. It was just a lot to take in a very short amount of time.
Yep.
We enjoyed, like I said, having him here playing.
He's like wants to play every day.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, I'm a gearhead, and so we took him on 4-wheeler rides, and
we went on a Jeep ride around the yard.
Sierra's got a Wrangler, so we drove the Jeep around the yard, and he wasn't too keen on the 4-wheeler. Said they were too loud, but
he doesn't like loud noises.
Yep, but he seemed to like the Jeep ride. But loud noises and piters. Not his favorite.
Yeah, no. So it was a good time. Like I said, we kind of just went day by day. It was good. We are looking forward to welcoming the next children, our next child, I should say, into our house. It's a wild ride. Foster care is, respite care, whatever you're choosing, however you're choosing to help. It's a lot, but if you guys have any questions, like I said, let us know. We have so much that we can go over, and we know that everybody doesn't want to sit and listen to an hour-long video every time.
Right.
We are currently working on our bunk bed situation, so that's kind of been in the works for a couple weeks now. We started it a couple weeks ago, then we got the call for tea. We kind of
all of our time went into him.
Which
a lot
was great.
More like 95%, because the other 5% was at work. But so we've been pretty busy, and as far as like us as a YouTube channel, we're sorry that these videos are kind of boring at the beginning. In the future, definitely try to.
We do have bigger plans. Yeah, it's just
trying to get this thing started, and trying to kind of show you guys like what we're going through at the time, as far as
work through the kinks. And it'll take a while, but I did have a question as to why we chose the name 8 to Love. I touched a little bit about it on our first video. So we are the 8th family in our county here in Indiana to be licensed foster care providers. So we are the 8th family. There's 2 of us, and we're just trying to provide an abundance of love and support for these children. We are aware that sometimes love isn't enough, but we are open.
We're willing to try.
Willing to try. We understand that sometimes, like I said, what is best for the child simply isn't us. But there's always that opportunity to help, and we are beyond thankful for each other and the opportunity. Absolutely. And family and friends, just anybody and everybody on this journey. We really thank. And
also, we're pretty thankful for our little helpers here.
Finny. Marley's touring the house at the moment, so. But we will keep you guys posted as to how our bunk beds, we'll we will post a video as soon as we have that process done. We've kind of been taking step by step, like
video.
Yeah, documenting
a lot of time lapse, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's a long process. Bunk beds are a big project.
More than what we thought.
Yeah, it's a big project.
Lot of sanding. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's all worth it.
Yep, all worth it for the little ones. So, but all right. If you guys have any questions, leave us a comment, send us an email. It's somewhere in there.
It's at 82love@yahoo.com. So you can always reach out. We will respond, and we just are, like I said, we are happy to help with any and all questions or comments, or, if you guys have anything you want to add, just let us know. We can do another video on something if it's a big topic. So
leave us a comment, a like, a share, whatever.
We appreciate it.
Yep, we sure do appreciate everybody's support. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.